Long ago, in a quiet village at the edge of a great forest, where tall palm trees swayed gently in the evening wind, the people lived simple and peaceful lives. During the day, the farmers worked on their land, planting yams and maize beneath the warm African sun. Women cooked delicious meals over open fires, while children ran through dusty paths laughing and chasing goats across the village square. When night came, the entire village would grow calm and peaceful. Families gathered outside their huts, sitting under the cool night air, telling stories while the bright moon rose slowly into the sky. The villagers loved the moon. To them, it was more than just a light in the darkness. It was a silent guardian that watched over their village while they slept. But one night, something strange happened. That evening began like every other evening. The sky slowly turned from orange to deep blue as the sun disappeared behind the distant hills. Crickets began to sing in the tall grasses, and cooking fires glowed softly in front of the huts. One by one, the villagers looked up at the sky, waiting for the moon to rise, and soon it did. But this time, the moon looked different. It was larger than usual, brighter than anyone had ever seen before, and slowly, it began to move closer. At first, the villagers thought it was only their imagination. But as the moon continued to grow bigger and brighter in the sky, whispers of fear began spreading across the village. An old woman named Mama Sword, who had lived longer than anyone in the village, stared at the sky with worried eyes. She slowly shook her head and whispered,
This is not an ordinary night.
The villagers looked up again, and suddenly they realized something terrifying. The moon was falling. Panic spread through the village like wildfire. People screamed and ran in every direction. Some rushed inside their huts. Others grabbed their children and ran toward the forest. Goats scattered, dogs barked, and the once peaceful village turned into a place of confusion and fear. But in the middle of all that chaos, one child did not run. His name was Tunde. Tunde was a quiet and curious boy who had always loved staring at the night sky. While the rest of the villagers ran away in fear, he stood still, watching the giant glowing moon as it slowly descended from the heavens. His heart beat fast, but he was not afraid. He was curious. Then, with a soft glow and a gentle silence, the moon touched the earth just outside the village. But something surprising happened. The ground did not shake. The huts did not burn. Instead, the entire area was filled with a calm and beautiful silver light. The air felt peaceful, almost magical. Slowly and carefully, Tunde walked toward the glowing moon. As he got closer, the light became brighter, surrounding him like a warm blanket. Then suddenly, the moon spoke. Do not be afraid.
Do not be afraid, child.
Tunde stopped walking. His eyes widened in shock, but he did not run away. He gathered his courage and asked,
Why have you come down from the sky?
The moon's voice was gentle and deep, like the sound of wind moving through the forest trees. For many years, the moon said, I have watched your village
dies, and to mine a sea thing from the skies, Pinto.
But tonight, I came down to see if the goodness I see from above truly lives in the hearts of your people. Tunde listened carefully. Then the moon gave him a task. Before the sun rises, the moon said, Bring me 3 gifts from your village.
Bring me 3 gifts from your village, a gift of kindness, a gift of courage, and a gift of truth.
And a gift of truth. Tunde nodded and ran back toward the village. The night was quiet now, and most of the villagers were still hiding in fear. As Tunde walked through the village, he soon saw an old woman struggling to carry a heavy bundle of firewood. Without hesitation, he rushed to help her.
Here is the firewood, grandmother.
Thank you, my
Together,
child.
they
You are a
carried the
good boy.
firewood
You're
safely
welcome.
to her hut. That was
fire is bright
kindness.
tonight.
Later,
I'll check
as
the
Ton
baskets.
walked
Maybe
along a
there are
narrow
eggs.
forest path, he heard a child crying in the darkness.
We're going home.
A small boy had gotten lost and was too afraid to find his way home. Even though the forest was dark and frightening, Ton bravely took the child's hand and guided him safely back to his family. That was courage. Finally, as Ton returned toward the glowing moon, the village chief stopped him and asked where he had been all night. Ton could have told a lie, but instead, he spoke honestly.
What are you doing out
"I am
here, child?
helping the moon,"
I was helping
he
the moon
said.
Helping
That
the
was
moon?
true.
How?
by watching.
Before the first light of dawn appeared, Ton returned to the place where the moon rested on the earth. The silver light was still glowing softly across the field. Ton told the moon everything he had done. The moon glowed brighter than ever before. "You have shown kindness, courage, and truth," the moon said gently. "Because of this, I know that your village carries goodness in its heart." Slowly, the moon began to rise back into the sky. The silver light faded as it lifted higher and higher above the village, returning to its place among the stars. When morning came, the villagers slowly came out of their huts. The ground outside the village was covered in a faint shimmer of silver dust. Ton told them everything that had happened that night. Some villagers believed his story, others only laughed. But the elders of the village smiled quietly, and from that day on,
They learn to live in harmony with
whenever the
land and
moon
stars.
shone brightly above the village, they would say, "Remember, the moon once walked among us."
Our eternal guide.
And even today, on quiet nights when the moon looks big and close in the sky, some people believe that it is still watching, waiting to see kindness, courage, and truth in the hearts of those below. And that is the story of the night the moon came down to the village. Thanks for watching. Please tell us how you feel about the story, and don't fail to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel.